everybody, and welcome to another episode of World of Tanks. This is Tanks for the Mammeries, and I've got two replays for you today. Both of these I did on the 5th of this month, June 5th, and I had been out of town for about 2 weeks, 10 days or so. And I got back in, and I updated World of Tanks, jumped right in to play some games, and this was one of the first battles I had on the 5th. So I'm in my Panzer II-J. We're on, I guess, Ruinberg or whatever this map is, Ruinberg. And it's a tier 3 match, so I'm not too concerned with the enemy team. Chiha can do some damage to me. The rest of them, not so much. So, again, I'm not real concerned. I'm going to play this pretty aggressively. And I was just trying to get back into the swing of things. So, have you ever had those times where just all of a sudden the game seems to really not work for you, whether it's matchmaking or tier selection in a match or you just, RNG doesn't work for you, whatever it is. Well, with this being the first match, I was pretty okay with how things were going. Set that guy on fire. Getting shot by an LTP way up there in the distance. That guy up there. But I've got this M2. Sorry for the replay bug. It's not necessarily focusing on where I'm aiming. It is what it is. Trying to make it a little bit. Bouncing HE, which is pretty amazing. Should be. This other M2 back in the distance is actually the one guy who's going to start hurting me. I don't want that LTP to get necessarily behind me because he can start shooting in the rear of my tank, but I've got to go ahead and take this other guy out because he's the only one that's really doing any damage to me. He's got it figured out. He's doing the best he can do. And it's hurt. Of course, that Panzer just sat there and let me get hit all those times. But anyway, so that's the first battle. So I'll put up the post-game stats next. We did 762 damage, so not a bad fight all in. So stick around for the post-game stats, and then we'll move on to the next battle. Thanks. So here's the next fight I got into, and I'm in my my Panzer IV-H, which is one of my favorite tanks, and I end up being bottom tier in this fight. It's tier 7 match, obviously tier 5 tank, and teams are fairly evenly matched, so I thought it would be a pretty good fight. It's getting on pretty late in the evening. It's about 11:30 at night where I am, and I'm getting a little tired, but I thought, I'll go ahead and this will be fun. Fight this one. I like the J, but I also like this tank, and it's a bit more challenging. And I always use the derp gun on this, so I decided since I'm the smallest tank and probably one of the faster tanks, and I've got a really good crew in this, I thought I would get up there and see if I could do some spotting. And if anybody was going to be silly enough to sit still, that I'd try and ping them for some pretty hefty damage. So I'm going to move on up to this bunker that's down here next to the tower and see if I can't do any spotting in the middle of the field. here we go. I get it in my little position here. And sure enough, I find a bad guy right there. And light him up for our team. And I give him a pretty good lick for 388 damage. So I'm feeling pretty good. And he's gonna spend some time going after me as well, obviously. So I missed him, but he can't hit me. I don't even know why he's trying. But I don't want to sit here and trade shots with this guy all day. So the rest of our team is pretty invested in town there. That seems pretty good. And, you know, we've got some TDs. We got a TD in the field there who ought to be able to help out with this guy. So I'm just going to sit here and see if I can spot him again if he comes back around the side of that bunker. And there he is. So I'm trying to give him some time. See if I can put a shot in on him there. I don't know why he's trying to side scrape. And I hit him, but it bounces. Maybe that's why he's trying to side scrape, but I wouldn't have expected him to be able to do that. I should have just used regular HE on him. So he's going to take another shot at me. And one of these he lands is going to actually hit. That one didn't do it. He got me there for 20. Trying to hit the top of his turret. Anyway, he's backed off. So our team's still seems to be doing okay. I mean, it's not great. We're losing some tanks. But I figured at this point, there's no sense in me trying to trade shots with that guy anymore. So I'm going to try and get out of here. Instead of just sitting there, you know. Eventually, one of us is going to get hurt, and I've got thinner armor than he does. So there's no sense in me just continuing to screw around with that guy. So since most of town is filled up with a lot of really heavy tanks, but they don't seem to be coming over here. I thought I'd try and get some side shots in on that 152, but I'm afraid of pulling out that direction because there's a whole bunch of bad guys over here. And, for example, the Tiger, who I just completely missed the shot on. So there's no sense in me trying to pull out in front of those guys. And now our team is really falling apart. Badly. So, not a whole lot I can do there. Miss that guy. And he hits me pretty good. Totally missed that guy. Miss him again. Just an awesome RNG today. So the hell with him. I'm going to go after this Hellcat. Because at least I can probably hit that Hellcat and save the Cheeto. I give him a good lick at 309, so that's 2 hits I've actually done that have penetrated or done any damage, and I'm dead. But two hits for 697 damage. Of course I bounced a couple, but let's just call it that for now. And we're down to the artillery. So this is a game. This just goes to show you, it's sort of kind of like when you should quit playing. When Wargaming and World of Tanks says stop playing the game, this is the battle where that is the case. Our team just melted really quickly. And I'll show you the post-game stats next, but it's only a matter of time before the FV304 gets whacked and it ends up being a 15-0 game. So that was pretty much the point in time where I said, time to quit playing World of Tanks tonight. So we go from having an okay game to the very next one being this game where it's 15-0, and I'm sure everybody out there has had one of these games, but it was kind of like, all right, that's enough for tonight. It's time to hang it up and go to bed. So that's what I did, but I am going to show you the post-game stats next. So stick around for those, and I'm not sure you really need to worry about watching this FE304 die, because he's about to. Right pretty much there. Anyway, so I'll show you the post-game stats next. Thanks for watching. Okay, so as you can tell, that was a defeat. 19,000 credits, which means I lost money, but that's what happens when you shoot premium, as I do with this tank and heat. But you can see I actually hit 2 vehicles and ended up being highest on my team in experience earned. For whatever reason, only 2 hits, 607 damage, whatever it was, done, and I still managed to be top on the team in experience earned, which is really pathetic, extremely pathetic. But look at all those guys: 3 experience, 12 experience, 21, whatever. Anyway, so that was pretty much one of those nights where it's a 15-0 loss, and you decide it is time to quit. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.